Welcome everybody to Ridiculously Raw, the most must-see show on YouTube TV, on YouTube today, I should say. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Anthony Floyer, your ridiculously over good brother here once again. Joined as always by my elite panel. Good old MF Michael Fletcher back with us after a couple weeks hiatus. Great to have MF with us tonight. We've also got the Phenom, Michael Bullock. And we also have the Twisted Angel and First Lady of the Wrestling Forum, Dee Dee Woodson. So, ladies and gentlemen, wow. What a night here on Monday Night Raw. Okay, yes, it was another blah show, whatever. But we have history, a historic announcement. Of course, I'm sure you all read the dirt sheets this past Friday afternoon. Our own Derek Ferreira posted it on his Facebook saying that they were hyping a historic announcement for this edition of Monday Night Raw here tonight. Dee Dee Woodson, you can't hear me? Uh, um, oh, okay. Dee Dee Woodson left. All right. Anywho, very historic announcement this evening. So we're gonna get into that. Plus, we got a big show here tonight. We're gonna talk about Monday Night Raw as always. I'll have my Tony's take on 205 Live and Impact Wrestling, and I will also I'll also give you the results of last night's TNA Slammiversary pay-per-view, which, from what I heard, was a really good show, which I couldn't believe.
But best TNA show in over 7 years, and they actually did better than WWE Extreme Rules, better than even what Ring of Honor has been putting out. As of right now, Anthony, I'm going to go on record. This is probably the third best pay-per-view of 2018.
Wow. Okay. Did you see the show, MF, or did you?
I actually was able to get it through a Facebook link. So Theo Joker, who's a Spanish guy who does telecasts for sports and wrestling and whatnot, he actually showed it on Facebook Live last night. And yes, Anthony, I did get to see the whole show.
Okay, well, how about this? I'll give the results. And since you saw since you saw it all, MF, you remember a couple weeks ago, you let me crash your Mikey's mindset when we talked about that New Japan show in San Francisco. I'm gonna let you crash the Tony's take, and I'm actually gonna let you I'm actually gonna have you give your thoughts, or unless you want to save it for the Mikey's mindset tomorrow night.
No. TNA is your show. I'm willing to crash on your show tonight.
Okay, there you go. So we'll have MF's thoughts. Another big exclusive here on Ridiculously Raw here tonight. So that will be at the end of the show. We're waiting for Dee Dee Woodson. We had her, but we lost her. Honestly, this was not really the time I was hoping for this to happen. I mean, I really wanted her to lead off on the big announcement that was made here tonight. So without any further ado, let's dive on into this, folks. Just got a message here. Recall me. I had to restart due to no sound. Okay. I guess Dee Dee had to do a restart, so I'm sure Dee Dee will be with us in just a moment. So hopefully she won't be too long, because the big announcement, folks. It was talked about over the weekend, and we finally had the announcement here tonight. We had Stephanie McMahon, along with her husband Triple H and her father, Mr. McMahon. And how great was it? How great was it to hear Vince McMahon do his legendary "Welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw"? I mean, brought back some memories. That's all I can say about that. Brought back memories of 20 plus years ago, back when he was the man, the voice of Monday Night Raw. But nonetheless, Raw was live tonight from the US Bank Arena in Cincinnati, Ohio, on the USA Network. And like I said, it was the big announcement. Vince McMahon was there. He brought out Stephanie McMahon, the commissioner of Monday Night Raw, the COO, Triple H, the Authority. And we're not in Authority mood tonight. They, the entire roster, not just the Raw roster, but SmackDown Live was represented. Hell, 205 Live was even represented here tonight. That's how big this thing was. And they asked for the women to come out. They asked for the women to come up, to come center stage on the ramp. And Triple H and Stephanie sang the praises. All right, praise God. We got Dee back in. Hopefully you're all set to go, Dee, because I'm going to have you lead off on this big announcement. Not yet. Just give me a moment here. I got to set it up. The big announcement. Triple H, singing the praises of the women. Stephanie McMahon singing the praises of the women. And when all was said and done, the big announcement, Sunday night, October the 28th. Circle that on your calendar, my friends. Sunday night, October 28th. From the legendary Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, Long Island, New York, the home of the Islanders. On that night, WWE is going to present a pay-per-view event called Evolution. But it's not just any pay-per-view event, folks. It's not your traditional pay-per-view. It's not a co-ed pay-per-view. Oh, no. For the first time ever, over 50 women from then, now, and forever are going to participate in WWE Evolution, the first ever all-women's pay-per-view. Whoa, Nelly. Whoa, okay. Before I do something very different on this night, and that is give it to Dee Woodson to start it off, because, it's only fitting that she gets the first voice on this big monumental moment here. Derek Ferrera, he talked about it, and the announcement was made that some of the names have actually already been announced for this event, and they include the likes of Hall of Famers Trish Stratus, Beth Phoenix, Sasha Banks. Well, you pretty much knew the current crop of superstars of ladies were going to be involved in this, but Trish Stratus is going to be there. Lita's going to be there. Beth Phoenix is going to be there. I was trying to find the dirt sheet that I saw Derek had posted something. I know where it is now. All right. Just bear with me for a minute, and then I want to address the dignitaries. But before that, it was also announced that all of the women's championships, the Raw Women's Championship will be defended. The SmackDown Women's Championship will be defended. The NXT Women's Championship will be defended. The finals of the second annual Mae Young Classic will take place at this event, and then from there, it was also announced that they will also crown the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion at this event. Okay, I got it here now. I was trying to find it. Ronda Rousey will be there. Trish Stratus will be there. Sasha Banks, Lita, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, Asuka, Nia Jax, Beth Phoenix, according to a dirt sheet that Derek had posted. So it all goes down October 28th at the legendary Nassau Coliseum in Long Island, Uniondale, New York, home of the Islanders. Dee Woodson, I'm going against the grain here, but I don't care. You are our women's wrestling guru after all. And also, it was also announced tonight, ladies and gentlemen, that Derek Ferrera has made a groundbreaking announcement on the weekend of October 27th and 28th. Congratulations, Dee Woodson. For the first time ever, you, my dear, are going to be hosting both the preview right here on the Tone 25 and the recap on MF channel, Braves Fan 95. Dee Woodson, there's nothing left for me to say except, my dear friend and sister in Christ, it's all yours. What do you have to say about all of this?
Well, first of all, I'm going to apologize because I'm mobile, because for some reason, when the invite was sent and I logged in, I had no sound. And for some reason, Google on my computer will not let me log back in on there without having a new invite. So I went mobile. But as far as getting to host, it's an honor to get to host for this. And I'm kind of excited to get to do just that. As for the big announcement, we all speculating what it could be. Derek was first one to say that it was going to be an all women's pay per view because of the dirt sheets he read. Honestly, I think that was a great idea to go ahead and do it. I just hope and pray that WWE makes enough excitement about this to get people interested in it, because we only have a few titles. I think three or four that's going to be put up for this. So hopefully, we get enough hype behind this with the legends that's coming in, with the current talent, the NXT, the overseas NXT, all these different ladies that's coming in just for this Mae Young Classic. All these ladies that are coming in for this, and I'm hoping that it's enough to build the momentum behind this to have this set the bar as high as the other pay-per-views that we've had, especially the takeover pay-per-views, because those are always so much better than the main roster pay-per-views. So I'm hoping that we can set the bar with the ladies, because this is it. This is the sky's the limit here. There's not much more higher they can go, trying to top themselves with first for the ladies. There's only one more thing I think most of us fans want to see, and that is the a women's tag belt, because we haven't really seen one in WWE. And TNA, they had one for a long time until they gave it to Eric Young, and then it kind of just disappeared. So it would be really good to see one pop up on WWE. But as for the pay per view, hey, I'm all for it. I'm a bit excited just to see what they come up with, and like I said, I'm just praying that we have the hype for it. That they give the hype for all the other pay per views. SummerSlam, Extreme Rules, Survivor Series. They give you all the hype for all these. We got to get that hype going for the ladies off of both shows, off of NXT, off of whatever they can give that hype on, because you have at least 3 shows you can build storylines off of, but we need to get hype for the matches that aren't on these shows. And so we're gonna have to they're gonna have to work really hard to get that going. So not much more I have to say about it. I'm gonna toss it back to you.
All right, and first off, congratulations, Edie Woodson. That is a huge honor for you. I mean, you definitely deserve it, without a doubt. And I'm sure MF and Bullock feel the same way I do about that. That's huge, to say the very least. Great call by Derek Ferreira. Definitely agree with the decision 100%. And yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, yes, this Raw was another blah show, but there were very few highlights, but this was far and away the highlight of the night. I mean, to have everybody out there on the stage, I mean, that's a sign of unity right there. I mean, it goes to show they are a family, whatever you want to say. Say what you want about the product, but what a moment. I mean, Triple H even got a little emotional during that. You saw it. It's very rare that we see, a big tough guy like the Game, the King of Kings getting emotional, but he certainly did. I mean, a lot of the women came from NXT, his brainchild, and I don't blame him for getting emotional. And to have, the McMahon family in the ring together to make an announcement of that, of epic proportions indeed, and well deserved. I mean, we're kind of not surprised. I mean, we knew. I mean, Derek Ferreira, he basically, broke all of this. He was the one who, posted all the stuff on Facebook and all that we found it, back on Friday afternoon. And but man alive, I mean, but it's a great announcement nonetheless. I mean, October the 28th, a great venue, one of the greatest WWE venues of all time, the Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, Long Island, New York, which has hosted several pay-per-views, including the greatest SummerSlam in history back in 2002, which also featured the greatest match in SummerSlam history. You already know that story, but we'll get into that another day. But to have all the legends and current women on there, I mean, knowing that Trish, Lita, and Beth Phoenix are going to be there, they've already been confirmed. That's awesome. I mean, that jacks up my excitement, without a doubt. Raw Women's Championship will be defended. SmackDown Women's Championship will be defended. NXT Women's Championship will be defended. The finals of the Mae Young Classic, the second annual Mae Young Classic, will also take place at this event. And then from there, it was also reported by Derek that they will also crown the first ever UK Women's Champion as well. So that's already a momentous night. So that's 5 championships, technically, Edie, if you really think about it. So, but that's going to be big anywho. I mean, I also came across a dirt sheet earlier today that I shared with Didi and Bullock because it had concerns about, it had a possibility of Carmella and Alexa Bliss dropping their respective women's championships prior to this pay-per-view. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I mean, you want to have the biggest names possible representing Raw and SmackDown Live. I mean, I would not be surprised if the rowdy one, Ronda Rousey, goes into this as the Raw Women's Champion. And the SmackDown Women's Championship, I'm not sure if it's going to be Carmella going into it. I mean, my gut feeling tells me it could be maybe Charlotte Flair, maybe Asuka, or maybe even Becky Lynch. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, SmackDown's wide open. Raw, there's no doubt about it. It's going to be Ronda Rousey. Raw's locked. There's no doubt about that. Because I think Ronda's going to win that thing at SummerSlam. But we'll get into that, next month. But nonetheless, I mean, they talked about it. From 30-second ho-hum diva fights to main events to the first ever Hell in a Cell match for the women, the first ever women's Money in the Bank ladder match, first ever women's Elimination Chamber match, women's Royal Rumble. They've done it all, but now this is their coup de grace right here. The first ever all women's pay-per-view. I'm personally excited for it. I mean, it's a great opportunity for all these young ladies to prove themselves and, to deliver. And I agree with Edie Woodson 100%. I hope and pray in the name of the good Lord that this thing delivers and lives up to the hype. I am hopeful that we do not have another show like we had, a week ago when we had to poo-poo all over Extreme Rules. I am hopeful that we will not be poo-pooing all over this event. I'm praying that it delivers in spades, and to have all the Raw women, the SmackDown women, the NXT women, and some names from yesteryear, like Trish and Lita and Beth Phoenix. I mean, there could be more legends that come in for this. They could bring in names like maybe Molly Holly or Kelly or Michelle McCool or maybe Victoria or Tori Wilson, Molly Holly. All these other great names from yesteryear. Maybe Jackie Moore makes a one-time appearance. I don't know. I mean, we got 3 months and 5 days to think about this, but nonetheless, congratulations to all the women of World Wrestling Entertainment, from Raw, SmackDown Live, NXT, what have you. The names from yesteryear, Hall of Famers or not. I mean, a historic announcement. I mean, MF Bullock and I were there in Providence when Stephanie announced the first ever Women's Royal Rumble. I mean, that was an honor for us to be a part of, and for all those wonderful people of Cincinnati, Ohio, to be a part of that epic announcement. But Long Island, brace yourself, Long Island. It's gonna be a one wild night of that. I'm so excited. I'm tongue tied. It's going to be an exciting night of hot women's action, without a doubt. Red hot women's action. I got a feeling it will deliver. I hope it delivers. And Bullock and I, we talked about it during our Raw chat. This far and away, without a doubt, the segment of the night. We could even say the segment of the year. That's all we can say for right now. So congratulations to the wonderful women of World Wrestling Entertainment. You deserve it, without a doubt. You damn sure deserve it. You busted your ass all these years, ever since this whole women's evolution thing started a few years ago. Give divas a chance. Well, they dropped divas. They became superstars. And now they finally get their own night to shine. They don't have to share the spotlight with the men for once. That's all I can say on that. So well done. And all I can say is October 28th cannot get here fast enough, because that's going to be hella fun. And I can't wait to be a part of this show when Didi Woodson runs it. That's going to be fun. So that's all I can say on that. Congratulations to all involved. Good old MF, Michael Fletcher. I'm glad you're here tonight. I mean, I know you haven't been able to be with us the last couple of weeks, but I am so glad you're here. I really want to get your thoughts on all of this. So MF, I mean, the women's, on all women's pay-per-view, Evolution, October 28th, one of our favorite venues, the Nassau Coliseum. Didi Woodson's hosting. Man, it's so exciting.
It's a historic night all the way around in professional wrestling. It's not just a WWE moment. It's a professional wrestling moment. Whoever would have thought of a day that we would see the women hosts get their own show. You know, we always see in MMA, it's Eviction. You know, there's the women's company Glow. They do it. And there was an all-women show not too long ago in Rhode Island, in Providence, at the Fed. That Derek Ferrero was there to witness. And yes, it is historic because this is the granddaddy of them all. World Wrestling Entertainment, the WWE, and they have broken so many glass ceilings and so many great moments in professional wrestling, and they did it again with this announcement, with this historic announcement. And for me, as a colleague of the Wrestling Forum, and even for us, breaking ground as Didi Woodson, our very own, somebody who I got to know for the last 16 years of my life, and she finally gets the moment in the spotlight. She gets to take the reins from myself and Anthony. I already promised Didi we will help her every way we can so that we make the show as smooth and as seamless as it will be. It's going to be a great night, those 2 nights when she gets to host. And not only that, but it's going to be a great event. All the women from NXT, all of the women from Raw, SmackDown, Legends, the women from the UK are going to be a part of this show. This is going to be one of those shows that you're going to want to be there for. And Uniondale, Long Island, New York, get ready, man. It's going to be a historic night. You know, you had some big events in your day. WrestleMania 2, you were one of the 3 cities selected for WrestleMania. And, you know, you're going to have a great event. It's going to be a great afternoon, or a great evening, I should say. And I can't wait. That's the only thing I can say. I can't wait to see these historic matches. What are they going to do? How are they going to incorporate all this legendary moments and everything else? You know, obviously this just can't be a regular pay-per-view. I think we're going to get some special match stipulations. You know, they're going to make this as historic as they can, because this deserves to be a historic moment. You know, a lot of people were really after the WWE, after the greatest Royal Rumble event, why the women were not allowed to perform in Saudi Arabia, but even though there was it was more of a religious thing than anything else. But I think WWE, if there was a way to say that we're sorry and we're thinking about you ladies, this is a tremendous way to do it. Give them their own show. Give them their own pay-per-view. Let them run it for the night. Fellas, you go on the bench for the night. So, I mean, this is going to be historic. Even Braun Strowman came out saying congratulations to the women, especially Alexa Bliss. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Okay, we know what you meant, Braun, about that. Yeah, you're like Alexa to catch those hands. Anyway, I'm not going there. I apologize, but still, it's going to be a great moment for all the women, including for Didi. And I just can't wait to see it. You know, we've been so blessed and so honored for great moments in professional wrestling. This is going to be a great moment in professional wrestling. I cannot wait for this thing to go down in October from Uniondale, Long Island. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's all yours, my brother.
Yes, and I, of course, want to add my congratulations to Didi Woodson for being named the host for the preview and the recap of this women's only pay-per-view. And yeah, I mean, what a moment. I mean, for this historic announcement to be made with the first ever all women's pay-per-view called Evolution, I mean, I'm just so excited about it. I even have goosebumps. And yeah, with Triple H, I mean, talked about how proud he was of these women. And I even noticed it too, that he was even getting emotional because those women that were on the stage, some of them came from NXT, and they were like his children. And then for Stephanie to make the announcement, I mean, it's like not just Ohio was a part of history, we all were part of history. To know that we're getting the first ever all women's pay-per-view, I'm already excited about it. I can't wait. I mean, you got the Raw Women's Championship that will be defended. The SmackDown Women's Championship will be defended. The NXT Women's Championship will be defended. The finals of the Mae Young Classic. And, of course, like Florio mentioned, we'll crown the first ever NXT UK Women's Champion. So this is already going to be a historic night. And then you got women then, now, and forever, especially with the appearances of the Hall of Famer Trish Stratus, another Hall of Famer, Beth Phoenix, Lita. I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, we could see more women appear. Maybe Michelle McCool, maybe Molly Holly. I mean, so many things, so many names to think of. But this is, I mean, the Nassau Coliseum, I think, is the perfect place for this. And, I mean, Nassau Coliseum's seen so many history. Well, they're going to see another one on October 28th. And I heard the tickets are going to go on sale on Friday, August 24th. So mark down your calendar, everyone in Uniondale, in the New York area. You're definitely going to want to be part of this history-making night. I'm excited about it, and I mean, October 28th can't get here fast enough, boys. It just can't. I mean, I'm excited about it. Florio's excited about it. Didi Woodson's excited about it. Fletcher is excited about it. Derek Ferreira is. And I mentioned to Florio, and I saw on Derek's page that there was one person who was really not looking forward to this.
I'd rather not address that, Bullock. I mean, I know you want to address it, but
well, I'm not even going to address the name or what he said.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to say.
It was a very low blow. It was degrading. It was disgusting. I'm not going to mention the person by name either, but it was absolutely positively uncalled for. Not at the moment. You know, if you want to voice your opinion, I would say save it for tomorrow, save it for a later date, not rain on a person's parade. Literally, literally minutes after the announcement was made, that post came up. So yeah,
I mean, that's just a total
ungrateful.
slap in the face.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a slap in the face. I mean, to all the women out on the stage who worked their butts off, and to the women, and especially the legendary women, especially Mae Young.
Moolah.
It's an absolute slap in the face.
And all the legendary women who have, passed on.
I mean, if you wanted to say this like the next day or days after, fine, whatever. But to say it on this night, totally uncalled for, and let's just say you're gonna get a lot of haters from around here, and I know Dee Dee Woodson must have seen it, and I'm sure she must have been pissed off about that. And I'm pretty sure she would have said, this guy needs to get sent to the woodshed, and he needs to get sent to the woodshed after those uncalled for comments, which, like I said again, I'm not even going to mention. So, nothing more to say. Congratulations to all the women out there. October 28th is going to be your night. You deserve it. Nothing more to say. Wario, unfortunately, this is where the back to reality is about to come in.
Yeah, but not necessarily here. I mean, the first match, maybe not the greatest, but not the worst either. I mean, it was a return match for the Raw Tag Team Championship. The B Team defending against the former champions, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Winners of the match in 8 minutes and 20 seconds, and still the Raw Tag Team Champions, the B Team. I'm going to give this about 2 to 2.5. I mean, it was an okay bout. B Team lucked their way into another win. Say what you want about them, but, I mean, this was a halfway decent fight. I mean, it was another fluky win for the B Team, along with the ongoing confusion of which team the company wants the fans to cheer for. I mean, that's the only downside about it. But, it was a solid match. I mean, it was kind of a carbon copy of the Extreme Rules bout. But nonetheless, B Team moves on. They're still the champs. And, of course, the Leaders of the World attacked them after the bout. And, I mean, Bullock and I had a little fun moment during this match. I mean, because, we had the brothers going at it, Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas. They're, for those of you who don't know, they're brothers in real life. I mean, could you imagine what their father, Mike Rotunda, IRS, when they were maybe like horsing around when they were little kids? I mean, in the IRS gimmick, I mean, if you two don't stop clowning around, I mean, you two are going to have to pay your fair share. I mean, could you imagine that? I mean, that must have been some fun stuff back in the day. I mean, I'm sure they were probably horsing around a lot. I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall during that moment. But all kidding aside, I mean, solid, decent fight. I probably would say maybe fourth best fight of the night, maybe. So nothing more to say here. Winners and still champions, the B Team. Not at all surprised by that. Only question now is, as we move on to MF, I mean, the only question now is, who's next for the B Team? Or is this thing with the Leaders of Worlds far from over?
It's possible it's not over. It's very possible it's not over. 2 shaky wins, not amazing wins at all. You could definitely make an argument that this is not over by a long shot, but the B Team did get prevailed. They do move on. So I mean, yeah, I agree with that. Maybe 2 stars, nothing amazing. So I got nothing else to say. Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give it about 2 stars. I mean, it was a decent match, nothing amazing to write home about, but yeah, I do too think this thing is far from over. I mean, 2 shaky wins. I think maybe Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy have a shot. I don't know. Could it be somewhere down the line? Maybe at SummerSlam? I really don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. So, nothing more to say. And we just lost Dee Dee Woodson. So, I guess for right now, I'm just gonna toss it back to you, Florio.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to take it back here. We'll just keep an eye out for Dee Dee when she comes back. So, all right. I do believe this is where we go back to reality, like Bullock would say. There's going to be quite a few cutouts here, so guys, hang tight. And
we got Dee Dee Woodson back.
Okay, Dee Dee Woodson's back. Okay. Didi Woodson, your thoughts on the Raw Tag Team Championship match with the B Team and the Leaders of Worlds?
Yeah, I guess I'm having technical problems all the way around because now my phone's acting up. Yeah, I'm gonna give it 2 stars. It was an okay fight. You know, not the best in the world. Definitely, you know, a cheap win. Um, but of course, Matt and Bray did put the exclamation on it after they gave their congratulations to the B team. You know, by showing exactly how they felt about it in the end. So, not much more I'm going to say about it. Like I said, 2 stars. So let's move on.
Yeah, now we're gonna get into what is a staple of Ridiculously Raw, unfortunately, and that is cutouts. And we had mass cutouts on this show here tonight. So MF, Bullock, Didi, hang tight. We'll get back into relevant stuff soon enough. First cutout here, we had well, I guess Sasha Banks and Bayley are friends again, I guess. And it's not often we see this, but we actually had they were actually in a squash match against two lady jobbers. Sasha and Bayley won it in 1 minute and 25 seconds. It was a squash, and I guess all is right with the two of them for now. So we're just gonna park it there. Then there was this segment here. Braun Strowman, Mr. Monster in the Bank. You know, he addressed the big main event with Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley, and also Brock Lesnar, and how he has the briefcase. And then all of a sudden, he gets interrupted by Kevin Owens, and then Constable Corbin shows up, and they bring out Jinder Mahal and Sunil Singh, and you know. At first, I was going to address this, but once Mahal and Singh came out, that ruined the segment. I'm like, yeah, I'm calling cutout here. I told Bullock that during our Raw chat. I'm not even going to waste the time of my elite panel here because I love and respect them too much. So I'll take it for a brief spin. I mean, Kevin's promo was good, and Braun Strowman showed a ton of personality. That's it. Nothing to see here. Then we had Natalya against Mickie James. Mickie James wins the match 3 minutes and 50 seconds after interference from Alexa Bliss, much to the chagrin of Bullock and Didi Woodson. Yeah, 1.5 stars. It was short and clunky due to the Bliss interference, but at least Mickie got a win. First time in a couple months since she picked up a win over Sonya Deville. So that's all we can say there. Then there was another cutout segment with the AOP. They were interrupted by Titus Worldwide. They had a brawl, whatever. And then an interesting but something rather interesting came out of the Strowman segment. After all, it was a backstage moment. Kurt Angle with Stephanie McMahon, and then they got interrupted by Constable Corbin and Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens proposed the match for SummerSlam. And Stephanie McMahon, of course, accepted, and approved it. Interesting match here. We're going to get Kevin Owens against Braun Strowman one more time, but we have some stakes in this one. We have a major caveat here. Braun Strowman's Money in the Bank contract is on the line. So if Kevin Owens wins this match, Kevin Owens gets the briefcase. And all that hard work for Braun Strowman goes by the wayside. Please don't put Owens over. When he was Universal Champion a couple of years ago, that was a god-awful reign. I'm sorry, but it was. Do not put the briefcase on Owens. Please don't put the briefcase on. Keep it on Strowman. You know the old expression, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's all I'm going to say on that. I'm just going to park it there. So that's now official at SummerSlam. Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens for the Money in the Bank briefcase. Then we had Mojo Rawley squash Tyler Breeze in 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Moving on. Okay, now we're going to have some fun here. We had a match, a one-on-one match, Drew McIntyre against Finn Balor. It ends in a disqualification in 7 minutes and 10 seconds. because Dolph Ziggler interfered. But then, before you know it, Seth Rollins shows up, and then Kurt Angle basically channels his inner Teddy Long and says, let's restart this match as a tag team match, playa. And that's exactly what we got. We got a tag team match, Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler against Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Finn Balor, Seth Rollins win the match in 12 minutes and 5 seconds. So, MF, we're going to start it off with you here. Man, major fun. But then, because Seth Rollins got the fall on Dolph Ziggler, Seth Rollins will get another shot at Dolph Ziggler in the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship in the SummerSlam. So, MF, thoughts on all of this?
This was a good fight, no doubt about it. Definitely. Well, first off, you got to throw away the first fight of the evening because there was a DQ finish. That's an automatic throwaway. But once we got the tag team fight, this was beautifully done. Rollins gets a big win. He's now booked for SummerSlam, which is probably great. Now it's just, does he get the belt, or are they going to let Ziggler hold on to it a little more while longer? 2.5 to 3 stars is my rating for the match. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, it's yours.
Yeah, as far as the first match, I have to give it an NA, but as far as the second one, the tag team match, I'm gonna give it about somewhere between 3.5. I mean, I thought this was a very good match to say the very least. I mean, big win for Seth Rollins. He gets the pinfall here on Dolph Ziggler, and now he basically gets another shot at the Intercontinental title at SummerSlam. So, yeah, there's really nothing more to say. Dee Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, the first match was doing really well before Ziggler decided to get involved. I mean, that's just a big letdown because, I mean, they were going really good, and everything. And then we get the tag match, and, I'm going to give that one about 3.5 stars. I thought that was a really good match. And I'm really, I am looking forward to Rollins and Ziggler at SummerSlam. And, is Ziggler going to give it up? That's the question to be answered. So we'll find that out at SummerSlam. So, Florio, it's yours.
I know you guys threw away the first fight. That's fine. But if I had to put a rating on it, I mean, that was 3 stars before the DQ. I mean, good while it lasted with a nice sense of urgency. And that's all we can say about that. Now, as far as the tag team match was concerned, to me, I would say second best fight of the night. I mean, very good back and forth tag team match with a great energy and a hot crowd. I'm giving that a solid 3.5 stars. I agree 100% with Dee's ratings. So, with all that, let's move on. Back to cutouts here. Ember Moon in her never-ending series with the Riot Squad. She went up against Liv Morgan again. Ember won it in 3.5 minutes. 1-star effort. Ember's really, really good. Liv, I mean, I'll give her credit. She tries, but the blue-tongued Banshee needs a lot more seasoning if she's ever going to be anything halfway decent. So I'm just going to park it there. And now we move on to the other big moment of the night, not just that historic announcement, but the main event of the evening. Another return match from Extreme Rules, this time with high stakes. #1 contenders match, Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns. The winner of the match will challenge Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship in the SummerSlam. When all was said and done, winner of the match, 17 minutes and 59 seconds. And moving on to face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam for the Universal title is none other than the big dog, Roman Reigns. He gets the win via the spear. I believe it's Bullock who starts it off. So, Michael Bullock, I mean, here we go again. Reigns, Lesnar, one more time in the SummerSlam for the Universal Championship. But nonetheless, this was far and away the fight of the night. Am I right on that?
Oh, this was definitely the fight of the night. I'm going to give this about 4 to maybe 4.25 when it comes to this main event. I mean, both guys certainly gave it their all in this main event, especially Bobby Lashley. I mean, there were times I was thinking Bobby Lashley was going to pull it out, but I guess WWE probably felt that they needed to give the win back to Roman Reigns after Bobby Lashley beat him at Extreme Rules. So yeah, here we go again with another Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar match at SummerSlam. I mean, this will be the third time that these two will face off this year. So, and I know a lot of fans are going to be poo-pooing all over this. I mean, I was so hoping we were going to get Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. That's a fresh new rivalry, but nope, WWE had to go with their two top guys. What else is new with that? And all I can say is yawn on that. So, and I know another certain panel here will be poo-pooing all over this match. So the match, I mean, Reigns and Lashley, that was 4.25. But I hate to say it, but I'm really not looking forward to this Lesnar Reigns Universal title match because, like I said, this is the third time they'll be facing each other. I mean, why do we need to see this again? I really don't know. Dee Woodson, it's yours.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 4 stars. I think a lot of people was hoping Lashley would win this just so we would have something new, but no, we have Roman Reigns again. Not a match a lot of people are going to be looking forward to. I know I'm not looking forward to it, but it is what it is. I know Lesnar's supposed to be the top star, but I don't call him the top star because where is he? Never there. What happened to the rule? Defend the title every 30 days. Lesnar gets the title, it goes out the window. I'm hoping and praying, that something good comes out of this, that we do get, even if it does end up Reigns, hopefully we get something better than having Lesnar holding this title, because right now, Raw, you need help. Majorly, you need your title back, and I think that may be part of the reason why everything's slumping, because you can't build a storyline around the Universal title if you don't have a champion there. I mean, you can keep going with number one contenders, but you can't really build a quality story out of it if you don't have the champion there week after week, or at least more than Lesnar shows up. So, let's hope and pray something comes out of this. If it's not at this pay-per-view, that it comes at the next one. I'd love to see Strowman retain his Money in the Bank and cash it in on either Reigns or Lesnar and walk away with it. That would be awesome for me. Although if you ask Kevin, Owens will be walking away with it, so which we all hope does not happen. So, like I said, 4 stars. Fight of the night. Not much more I had to say about it. Florio, take it.
Florio, you there?
Tony?
I'm passing it to you.
You might be busy.
Last time I passed it to him, he a week ago he said I didn't pass it to him, so I don't know.
I don't know, unless something came up on his end that
Unless something, yeah, maybe something happened on his end.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so I'll take it for a spin for the moment while Anthony.
Oh.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
there we go.
Yep, you might as well
Uh-oh.
take it for. You might as well take it for a spin.
I can't. It was like I was thinking maybe not. Nope, it happened. Drop. All right, so I'll say this: it was a good match. Definitely a great battle. Congratulations to Roman Reigns for getting an opportunity at the Universal title again. I know a lot of people are a wee bit angry right now, which understandable, no doubt about it. Probably the wrong person to get the opportunity. I agree with Michael Bullock. It should have been Bobby Lashley. I even heard talks of a possible triple threat, but unfortunately, that did not happen. So it is going to be Roman and Brock Lesnar as of now. However, guys, be careful. Money in the Bank. Remember that. It's in play, so who knows what happens then. Obviously, we got to really now keep our eyes on the Kevin Owens versus Braun Strowman, because if Owens ends up getting the briefcase, there's a very good possibility Kevin Woodson's theory might happen. And if that happens, we're all in trouble. We're all in trouble at that point. So we'll wait and see what happens then. And unfortunately, that's it for me. That's my thoughts on the whole thing. This is the part of the show where Anthony would have probably gone with the overall review now. So I guess I'll start it off, and then you guys can go follow right behind me, because Anthony would have been the first on the pecking order to handle the overall review of the show. I gotta say, okay, other than the big announcement that happened tonight, this wasn't really a good show. It was more of a 50-50 show, probably more thumbs down than anything else, because there was a lot of cutouts on the show. But if there is some silver lining on it, you got to give the opening of the show where the big announcement was made. Oh, all right, we got Anthony back. So, what? I guess not. All right, so what I'm going to say is my feeling, it goes like this. Flory, are you there? Tony? I guess not. Oh, boy. Oh, this is not good. Not good at all. All right, so.
I'm in.
All right. Oh, there you go.
My screen froze.
Oh, that sucks.
Ooh, that stinks.
Yeah.
All right, so we were talking about the Roman Reigns and
The main
Bobby
event.
Lashley. Yeah, everybody pretty much put in their 2 cents.
Well, for me, it was the fight of the night. It was 3.5 to 4 stars. It was definitely better than the Extreme Rules bout, without question. And let me see here. I mean, yeah, another Lesnar and Reigns match. I mean, oh boy, that Brooklyn crowd is gonna poo-poo all over that, without a doubt. Good TV main event. Once they got to the closing minutes with the good near falls, I mean, it was definitely Shakespearean drama there. And I love the way Bobby Lashley sold the loss. I mean, Bullock, you saw it. We saw it during our Raw chat. I mean, we saw how devastated Bobby Lashley was heading to the back. I mean, it made that match and the Universal Championship actually seem important for a change, because his character acted like this loss was so disappointing to him. So, very good. So, 3.5 to 4, without a doubt. This was the fight of the night, definitely. So, okay, now we're going to get into our overall thoughts on this Monday Night Raw. So, Didi Woodson, let's start it off with you here. Another meh show, but at least we had that huge newsworthy moment at the start with the women's pay-per-view announcement.
That was probably the biggest thing in the whole show. Because, like you said, the show was meh. Thumb in the middle, 5 stars. Not much to talk about. All the ladies' matches just were there. They wasn't anything big. Nothing to build off of. So really, your only quality matches you got tonight was, the number one contender, the tag team match. I'll throw in Balor and McIntyre because it's 2-for-1 deal, and then your Raw tag team match. That was about it. I mean, the rest of them just kind of was there. They weren't really worth anything. Nothing to write home about. I don't know if anybody caught my tweet, but when they finally did let Elias sing, Tiger started crying. So, I guess you can say I have a cat critic that don't like Elias as well. So, yeah, no big loss there on watching him get cut off. I mean, nice, yeah. He's got his new album out, which is what, 4 songs. He made 5 appearances on Raw, got cut off on all 5 of them. So, hey, no big loss. Backstage segments, we had some pretty good ones. The top one there, definitely Stephanie and Kurt with Kevin Owens and Corbin, making the match. Then you kind of had a funny one with Corbin and Balor and Gable, where we got to see the little playhouse, which ended up being Balor's new dressing room. That one was kind of funny. I heard that Balor actually tweeted a picture inside of it, so that was kind of cool. But all in all, yeah, I'm gonna give it 5 stars. But definitely the segment of the night, definitely the opening segment. And again, congratulations to the ladies. Fine job. So, not much more I'm going to have to say about it. I'm heading out. See you all tomorrow night.
All right, Didi, we'll see you tomorrow night for another all-new edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk with MF on Braves Fan 95. So, yeah, I'm actually going to go a smidge higher. I'm going to give it 5.25 out of 10. I mean, overall, Raw was newsworthy for both the Evolution announcement and several SummerSlam developments, but it was still a marathon show, and not just because the show ran a little longer than usual. It's worth noting that this would have been an ideal return location for a babyface Dean Ambrose in his hometown, but it didn't happen. I mean, the original estimate was September, but we're used to trimming a little time off of those initial estimates. But is what it is on that. But like I said, this was a 5.25 out of 10 show. I mean, main event, far and away the fight. Well, not really far and away the fight of the night. I mean, by a smidge, it was the fight of the night. I mean, you had that tag team match, an impromptu tag team match with Balor and Rollins against McIntyre and Ziggler. Those were the 2 fights of the night. And then Balor and McIntyre up until the DQ was good. And then you had a solid but not overly spectacular Raw Tag Team Championship match. But of course, the one thing that we're most going to remember from this show, when we look back on it years from now, was when they made the announcement about the first ever women's pay-per-view. I mean, big moment there. I mean, the show started off well with the big announcement of the women's pay-per-view, which was treated as a big deal. But then from there, things dropped off considerably into largely nothing until they set a new SummerSlam match between Owens and Strowman. Things picked up with the Rollins, Balor, Ziggler, McIntyre matches, and then was capped off with a very good main event. And at the end of the day, it was another largely lifeless meh Raw with only some glimmers of quality in the 3+ hours. And at the end, we get Reigns and Brock again. But I'm hopeful that this time it will be different. So we're just going to park it there. So nothing more to say there. So 5.25 out of 10 for this edition of Monday Night Raw this evening. So nothing more to say here. So MF, your overall thoughts on this historic yet meh edition of Raw tonight?
5.5. Yeah, I agree. I was leaning towards 5.5. So before you came back on the air, so I got nothing more to say. Bullock is yours.
Yeah, 5.5 out of 10. I mean, this was a historic, but yeah, another meh edition of Raw. I mean, yeah, you guys pretty much touched on everything, so there's really nothing more to say except, Florio, it's time for your Tony's Take.
Yes, indeed. Tony's Take time, of course. We're going to talk about 205 Live, but before we get into that, of course, next week on Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins will go up against Drew McIntyre. Finn Balor will go up against the Constable, Baron Corbin. And both Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar are going to be in the house next Monday night on Monday Night Raw from the American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida, as we continue on the road to SummerSlam from Monday Night Raw. So we'll park it there. So let's move on now to Tony's Take. Of course, 205 Live starts it off as usual. And, let's dive right on in. So, alrighty, 205 Live. We started it off with a return match from a couple weeks ago, TJP against Noam Dar. And it was TJP who picks up the win, 10 minutes and 35 seconds. Co-fight of the night. I don't often say this, but this was a co-fight of the night, 3.25 stars. Good back and forth opening match with TJP being opportunistic, attacking the previously injured knee of Noam Dar with great submission work and force and focus rather. They played well off of the first match, and the ruthless TJP is great. It had great pacing as well, and I'm sure we'll probably get a rubber match down the road. Then we had Drew Gulak in a squash match. He won it in 30 seconds. He continues to win and makes a case for a cruiserweight title match. And then the big match this time around, the main event, Akira Tozawa against Lio Rush. Lio Rush wins in 9 minutes. The other fight of the night, 3.25 stars. Good sprint here. While Rush didn't have a blowaway performance as I was hoping for, and it wasn't his fault, as it wasn't designed for that. He picked up a solid win, and it looked as if he belonged in there with a seasoned performer in his first long-form 205 Live match. Next week on tomorrow night on 205 Live, we got 2 matches. We got Kalisto against Tony Nese, but this other one is a huge deal, big deal, high stakes. Fatal 4-way number 1 contenders match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Drew Gulak, Hideo Itami, TJP, Mustafa Ali. Winner of that match will be Cedric Alexander's next challenger for the Cruiserweight Championship. And I'm going to make a bold prediction right here and now. I'm going with Drew Gulak to win that match. So you heard it here first. And I'll let you know who won that next week. As for this show, 7.25 out of 10. 205 Live continues to remain a good and consistent bit of TV every week. The most consistent WWE brand these days that has really locked into a good base formula. TJP, Noam Dar, the storyline match that was set up by Dar's reintroduction a few weeks back. Gulak squashed to continue his momentum, and for him to continue to make his case for a title shot. And he got into next week's number 1 contenders match. I absolutely love that the 205 Live squashes actually mean something and are never filler. Akira Tozawa, Lio Rush was the hype main event, and while not at the level of some of the recent great main events, it was good and served its purpose. Another good week of TV from 205 Live, so 7.25 out of 10 for that. So now let's get into this past week's edition of Impact Wrestling. It was the go-home show for Slammiversary, and let's see what this one had. Okay, so and then I will set the table for the next edition of Impact Wrestling as well. But I think maybe I'll save that for after our special Slammiversary review. Well, MF's thoughts on it anyway. I didn't see the show; he did. I wish I would have known about that Facebook Live thing. I think maybe I'll take that into consideration for Bound for Glory in October. So, all right, Killer Cross went up against Petey Williams. Killer Cross won it in 5 minutes via referee stoppage. 2.5 stars. As a match, it was solid, but as far as presenting Cross as a badass killer character, it was good stuff. And Petey sold well, and Cross's offense looked great. Good stuff. Then we had the Desi Hit Squad against KM and Falaba. Desi Hit Squad wins it 4 minutes, 35 seconds. 2 stars. Desi Hit Squad picks up another win in an okay fight. Crowd loved KM and Ba, and I'm still far from sold on the Desi Hit Squad. I need to see a lot more from them if I'm going to take them seriously. The Impact Wrestling debut of Joe Hendry. He went up against Eli Drake, and wow, Joe Hendry picks up the win, 3 minutes 55 seconds. Another 2.5 stars. You know, it was a short but solid little match. I mean, I'm guessing that they weren't sure if Eli Drake was going to re-sign when they taped the match, but they went for the Henry debut win. So we were supposed to have a match with Desmond Xavier against Andrew Everett. That didn't happen because Eddie Edwards came out and raised hell and basically cut a promo on Tommy Dreamer. And then from there, Sami Callihan against some guy named Greg Osborne. He squashed him in 4 minutes and 10 seconds. No rating, as this was an ass kicking and Sami monologuing to set up the match with Pentagon Jr. It was effective in that regard. Then we had Tessa Blanchard and Shotzi Blackheart against Ali and Kiera Hogan. Ali and Kiera Hogan win it in 7 minutes and 5 seconds. Another 2.5 stars. It was a solid little tag, giving Ali a win and momentum ahead of her match with Tessa. Tessa was a great biatch character here, and I always appreciate the alligator arms walk off. And then we had an in-ring segment to close the show. Austin Aries and Moose. Solid, okay segment there. So, this was not a good show. This was only a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, the previous 3 weeks were good and strong shows with a mix of some good wrestling and build to the pay-per-view. While this show was not bad, as a go-home show for a pay-per-view, it was not very good. The company peaked the bill too early. There were some good video packages and some okay to average wrestling, but as a show that was supposed to make fans want to spend $40 on a pay-per-view, which looked really good on paper, it missed the mark. And when you're asking people to pay that kind of money for a show, especially this year, where there are so many cheaper alternatives, you have to deliver a good to great go-home show. That's all I can say on that. So we'll park it there. 5.5 out of 10. Normally, I would get into what we're going to see on the next show, but I don't want to, spoil it too much. So I'm going to hold off on that for the moment, because what we're going to get into now, we're going to have a Slammiversary. Slammiversary went down last night at the Rebel Complex in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, exclusively on pay-per-view. I'm going to give the results, and MF, since MF actually watched the show, we're actually going to get MF's thoughts on it. So MF, if you're ready, we're going to start it off with the first match of the night, which was a fatal four-way match. Johnny Impact against Phoenix, Taiji Ishimori, and it was supposed to be Rich Swann, but Rich Swann, I guess, was injured, so Petey Williams filled in. When all was said and done, Johnny Impact won the match in approximately 12.5 minutes. So, MF, your thoughts on that opening match?
Very good match, a spot fest for all you guys, the high-flying aerials. This was a solid 2.5 to 3 star fight. This was actually really good, tremendous action, and they actually had a pretty good crowd for this match too. They really liked it, so definitely a great way to start the show.
And then we moved on to the first of the two women's matches on the show. It was Tessa Blanchard against Ali, and Tessa Blanchard picks up the win in approximately 11 minutes. So, MF, your thoughts on this first knockouts match?
2.5 stars, actually better than the other fight later in the evening. This was a solid match. Both women went for it. Tessa Blanchard definitely was playing the heel role really good. Ali being that underdog, trying to get back into the fight. Looked like there was a couple of moments where Ali could have won the match, but it was a solid fight. The ending was actually pretty good. Clean win. Tessa Blanchard looked really good in victory, so I got nothing more to say. And yeah, so 2.5 stars, and we move on.
Okay, next match, the House of Hardcore Rules match. Eddie, based on that alone, I got a feeling that MF's gonna wax poetic on this. Eddie Edwards versus Tommy Dreamer, House of Hardcore Rules match. Time of the fall, 11 minutes and 10 seconds. The winner, Eddie Edwards. MF, I heard you cackling over there. This
3.5 to 4 stars. This was an amazing hardcore fight for all the ECW purists out there. There was one fight that was even more bloodier than this one, but this one was a throwback to the ECW days. For all the ECW purists, this was right up your alley. You loved this. Kendo sticks, chairs, there was trash cans, tables. You had it. They had it in this fight. You had everything but the kitchen sink in this match. This was a great match. Unbelievable fight. Yeah, solid match. Well done.
And then the first of our 4 championship matches on the night. This one for the Impact Wrestling X Division Championship. The champion, Matt Sydal, defending the title against Brian Cage. Winner of the match in approximately 9 minutes and 45 seconds. And the new X Division champion, MF, your buddy from Lucha Underground, they call him Cage.
The Machine, known as Cage, Florio, get it right. But I will say this, unfortunately, this was the worst of the 4 title fights. This was only a 2-star match. Yes, it was good. I love the underdog, the big man versus the little man. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit where credit's due. This was a really... the effort was there. It just never got there. And this was by far the most disappointing fight of the evening. I could easily call this possibly the worst fight of the night with only a 2-star rating.
And then our second championship match, this one for the Impact Knockouts Championship. Champions defending the title against challenger and former Knockouts champion Roy Madison Rain. Winner of the match in approximately 6 minutes and 50 seconds. And still the Impact Knockouts champion, the Undead Bride, Su Yung. Oh, MF, I mean, the Freak does it again.
Yeah, she does. 2 to 2.25 stars. It was good. But it was short. I mean, 6.5 minutes wasn't really that much time. It looked like it was starting to get going, and then they ended it. I mean, if they would have given them maybe 10 minutes, maybe this turns out to be a better fight. But this only got about 2.25 in my eyes.
All right. I got a feeling this next one is MF's going to have a lot of fun with this. This was for the Impact World Tag Team Championship, 51-50 street fight. The champions, the Latin American Exchange, Santana and Ortiz, accompanied by the legendary Conan, defending the titles against the original LAX, who are now going by the OGs, Hernandez and Homicide, with Eddie Kingston, or King as they call him. Winners of the match in approximately 13 minutes and 40 seconds. And still the Impact World Tag Team Champions, LAX. MF, I heard a lot of rave reviews about this.
Oh, yeah. This was one of the top fights of the night, man. This was at least 4 to 4.25 stars. It's not the fight of the night, though. There's one match that's even better than this. But this one was amazing. It was back and forth. It was an absolute war. This lived up to the street fight moniker. This was amazing. Nothing more to say. 4 to 4.25.
And then the mask versus hair match. Pentagon Jr. putting up his mask against the hair of Sami Callihan. Winner of the match in approximately 18 minutes and 15 seconds. Pentagon Jr., he picks up the win. MF, nothing more to say except Cero Miedo.
Fight of the night, 4.5 to 4.75 stars. Does not get the 5-star rating, but it came pretty damn close to the 5-star rating. This fight is a must-see if you can get it. This was amazing. All the people that I was talking to on Facebook was going nuts about this. All of social media was going nuts about this fight. This is the highlight fight of Slammiversary, and go out of your way to see this match. This was unbelievable. Tremendous battle. It was a great match. Broken arms, blood. I mean, it was everything you expected it and everything in this match. Unbelievable warfare, unbelievable battle. It lived up to the hype. It was amazing, man. Pentagon Dark or Pentagon Jr. and Sami Callihan, their stock is rising after this performance tonight. Sami has proved to be definitely the top heel in TN or in Impact Wrestling, and for and like I said, and for Pentagon Dark, he put himself right back in the picture for possibly another shot at the Impact World title. It was that good of a match. Both men laid it on the line. They left everything, nothing for chance. 4.5 to 4 3/4 fight of the night.
Then the main event of the evening for the Impact World Heavyweight Championship, the champion Austin Aries defending the title against the number one contender Moose. Special guest involved in this, Curtis Granderson, was in the house for this match. He actually got to lift the belt to show off the belt, like the referee does, showing off the hardware before the match begins. But when all was said and done, the winner of the match in approximately 15 minutes and 50 seconds, and still the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, the greatest man who ever lived, Austin Aries. MF, your thoughts on the main event?
I'm going to say this. It was good for what it was worth. It's nowhere near a 5-star classic. Even I will openly and say this was probably the third best fight of the night. There was a lot of excitement. There was a couple of great spots in the match, but it was slow in paces. It was a little clunky in certain areas, but the ending was satisfying. It was a great ending. I could give this about maybe 3.25, 3.5 stars. But other than that, it didn't beat the street fight. It didn't beat Hair versus Mask. Those were the two top fights of the evening. Even the Dreamer and the hardcore fight with Tommy Dreamer was actually just as good. So I could say this is like 3A to 3B in my eyes, but it was a solid main event. A nice way to close what I thought, like I said, one of the best impacts or the best Impact pay-per-views in the last 5 to 7 years. This show absolutely delivered.
Overall rating?
8.5 out of 10. Tremendous show. Impact is great again. There was that slogan that make America great again. There was that funny joke that we were saying, make Impact great again. What Don Callis has done with this organization has been leaps and bounds better than anything we could have imagined. And now, with the right people, with the right personnel, with everything that's going on, I really got some high hopes now for Impact down the line. I love what they're doing. I can't wait for Bound for Glory, which is going to be in New York City later this year in October. They're really going for it, guys. And if they put the right people around, if they continue to work the way that they've been doing, I think they're gonna have something good. I like I said, I'm gonna openly admit this. They are doing better than what Ring of Honor's been doing lately, and that speaks a lot of volumes if you're doing better than Ring of Honor, because Ring of Honor right now was that one company, because they got the New Japan Pro Wrestling influences, that should be better than what they are lately, and they're doing better than Ring of Honor. So right now, if they start putting the pieces together and start, working some things around, maybe in the near future, they're not going to get to WWE level, but they're starting to nip on Ring of Honor's heels. And if they take that over, that could be a big deal. So for me, 8.5 out of 10. For me, the best Impact pay-per-view of 2018, the best Impact show of 2018. And right now, like I said, it's probably in the top 5 for the best pay-per-views of 2018 as a whole. So they really did a tremendous job. Bravo to Don Callis, bravo to Scott D'Amore, Don West, all the boys in Impact Wrestling, to the men and the women. Applaud yourselves, take a bow, because you guys did a phenomenal job with this pay-per-view, at least from this announcer's eyes. Go out of your way to watch this pay-per-view if you can on YouTube or any binarious means, Daily Motion, whatever, because this is definitely worth watching. Florio, wrap it up.
Wow. All right. Thank you very much, MF. Glad to hear that. All right. This is what we can expect on the next Impact show, which will go down on Thursday night on Pop Television at 8 Eastern. One-on-one match, Taiji Ishimori squaring off against Petey Williams. Austin Aries will cut his first promo after getting by the Moose. He's putting out, well, I'm just going to park it there. Let's just say he's going to do something we've seen before on WWE television, something really good. The OGs will be in a squash match, so nothing really to report there. Scarlett Bordeaux makes her Impact Wrestling debut. She's going to be interviewed by their interviewer, Alicia Tout. Very lovely young lady, by the way. Johnny Impact will go up against Trevor Lee. Tessa Blanchard will square off against Rebel. And the main event will be a return match from Slammiversary. Matt Sydal has invoked his rematch clause, and he will challenge the Machine, Brian Cage, for the X Division Championship. So that all goes down this Thursday night, 8 Eastern on Pop Television. And that's it. So MF, I'm going to bring you back in because we got the we got to have you set the table for tomorrow night's edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. So what can we expect?
Yes, indeed. Well, tomorrow night on Cerebral Smack Talk, it's just basically SmackDown Live as of right now, unless I can find some other news and articles, maybe from Ring of Honor, maybe something else. But as of right now, we're just going to be covering SmackDown Live, 10:30 Eastern, Braves Fan 95. Florio, it's yours.
All right, tomorrow night at 10:30 on Braves Fan 95. You heard it, Cerebral Smack Talk. Just a review of SmackDown Live. So for now. That's tomorrow night. And then Friday night at 10:30 on Strictly Sports, we have the docket for that. Brandon Cooks signs an extension with the Los Angeles Rams. Darrelle Revis retires. Kawhi Leonard traded to the Toronto Raptors. Carmelo Anthony signing with the Houston Rockets. Manny Machado traded to the Los Angeles Dodgers. And in our main event, it'll be the Major League Baseball Power Rankings. So that all goes down Friday night at 10:30, right back here on the Tone 25 Strictly Sports. And then be back with us next week at this time for another edition of Ridiculously Raw. A loaded Monday Night Raw from Miami. Seth Rollins against Drew McIntyre. Finn Balor against the Constable Baron Corbin. And, of course, we got both Brock Lesnar, the Universal Champion, and Raw Women's Champion, #1 contender, Ronda Rousey. It's going to be a loaded show next week in Miami. Hopefully that show ends up being better than this one. But that's it. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk with MF over on Braves Fan 95, you've been watching this very special Ridiculously Raw. Your ridiculously over good brother Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, for the Phenom Michael Bullock, and in spirit the Twisted Angels Edie Woodson, and Bullet Club Soldier 445, the Hardcore Pipe Bomb Derek Forever. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune Forest style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Tuesday. And until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk with MF, you know the routine, everybody. Yeah, I already did that. You've been watching this historic edition of Ridiculously Raw right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. For everybody who's been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio, so long, and bye, everybody. Bye.